Hi, this is Donna Warren with the Critical Thinking Center at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point, and today I would like to talk about problem solving. Last time we took a look at decision making. Decision making and problem solving are very similar. Decision making has us select from a predetermined number of options. Problem solving does not present us with those options, but instead requires us to generate them, to consider and identify a variety of solutions and then select between them. A solution addresses a problem by moving us closer to a desired state. And the question that I would like us to consider today when we think about problem solving is there a better option? Let's see how decision making and problem solving are related by taking a look at this general template of a map. If we start reading it from the bottom, we can see that we might want to achieve an end state, which I'll call E. The fact that we haven't achieved that end state will be the problem. So the problem might be, I want to further my education. I don't know what schools to go to. I want to buy a house or decide where to live. I don't know what I should do. I want to maybe prevent people from being able to look in my living room at night when I have the lights on. Once I identify what the problem is, I can think about and decide upon an array of solutions or means to achieve that end. So here I'm just going to consider X, Y, and Z will achieve a certain end state. Maybe taking an online class will help me to further my education. Maybe I'll decide to move into a condominium. Maybe I will decide to just board up my windows entirely so people can't look in anymore. The fact that we have those options and that they all allow us to achieve this desired end state means that those are our kind of viable options. And now this just becomes a standard decision-making problem. Here are our options. We consider which of those options has the greatest expected utility in much the same way that we talked about last time. And then we select the option that has the highest expected utility. And that is, from that point of view, the best solution, right? That's how it should work. Except it doesn't. Often we don't optimize. We don't try to maximize our expected utility. Instead, we select the option that's good enough. For example, suppose that I want to prevent people from being able to look into my window at night. There are a number of possible solutions to this problem. I might install blinds, I might hang curtains, I might duct tape bed sheets to the top of the windows. That means that those are all options. Frequently what we do is decide, this is good enough. It might not be the best, but hey, duct taping bed sheets to the top of my window is good enough. It's going to prevent people from looking in if that's primarily what I want to do. If I just don't have the resources, if I just don't have the time or the energy to do the other things, I'm just going to tape up those curtains. That's the solution that I choose to my problem. That move right there, saying this is good enough, that is satisficing. Satisficing is a heuristic that has us adopt the first solution that meets a certain minimum level of acceptability. The question, I think, is satisficing always bad? In this case, I think probably it is bad, unless duct taping the sheets to my window is just a very short-term, stopgap measure until I can actually get some blinds up. I should probably think about doing something that is a little more, professional isn't the right term, but aligns more with the general aesthetic that I want to produce in my living room, right? So I think some questions that we need to consider when we think about satisficing is, have we set our acceptability standard too low? I think that if I am willing to live with sheets duct taped to my window, when I have the resources to do otherwise, if I don't, right? If I don't have the resources to do anything else, then it's not satisficing, because then the other options aren't legitimate options. But if I do have legitimate options and I just choose the bare minimum, and if my minimum is too low, that might be what we could call maladaptive satisficing. Another instance in which it might be maladaptive satisficing is if this move is part of a cumulative series of satisficing solutions or behaviors. Sometimes we might choose to do one thing because, it's good enough. Then the next day we might decide to do something else because, well, it's good enough. If all of those satisficing solutions kind of achieve a general end, we might end up with a solution that is, or a situation that from the global perspective is not good enough. Maybe I'll decide to install blinds that I don't really like, but they're good enough. And then I might decide to get some furniture that I don't really like, but it's good enough. And then I might decide to get some artwork for the walls, which really isn't something that I particularly enjoy, but it's good enough. Each of those satisficing behaviors, the blinds, the furniture, the artwork, might not be enough to have me be just massively dissatisfied with my living room, but collectively they might. A collective series of satisficing solutions might not itself satisfice. So I think the lesson here is that we might not want to optimize all the time. That might just take more effort than it's worth for any particular situation. But I think we should beware accepting what's good enough and minimally good enough all the time. Sometimes when we're thinking about solutions, we might want to ask ourselves if there's a better option. Well, that's it for today. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. And until I see you next, don't satisfice too much.